we are here for the NCAA 2026 Division I basketball tournament bracket. So we have just a few games left. We had two left. We had South Carolina defeat TCU in a blowout, 70-52. That was a big blowout for that one. Both these Elite Eights were not as good as Saturday's Elite Eight. I mean, for Sunday's Elite Eights were much better than
kids want to grow
Monday's
tall
Elite
to reach the pros or to reach a Reese's?
As you can see, right here for TCU, you pretty much had a couple of contributors with 18 for Leo's, 9 for Davin Hunter, 9 for Marsoris, 10 for Taylor Bigby. But they had like a couple, and some assists, 6 assists, Clear Still 5 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Davin Hunter 4 rebounds, 3 for Leo's, Marsoris 5. But the steals, but it was just that TCU was just way more dominant on the offense, or TCU was not as much on the defensive side. South Carolina was a lot more on the defensive side of the ball. Trace Edwards 9 offensive rebounds. It was just the offensive rebounds, second chances compared to a second chance for South Carolina was the difference. 22 was for South Carolina, and then 10 for TCU, and also 33.3% field goal percentage and 3 points. But South Carolina was just hot. 6 of 9 from 3, 66.7%. And from field, 33 of 70, which is 47.1%. Hot from the field. They were, on fire. It seemed like, 47.1 is pretty solid in women's basketball. That is, really solid. So, And then, number 1, Texas blew out number 2, Michigan, 77-41 in the 4-3 region. Man, what a dominant blowout that was. That was a blowout. Only 2 scored double figures. 11 points for Riley Wilson and Mia Holloway. And then they had a couple 5-7 steals, 2 blocks, 5 assists, 32 rebounds, only 11 offensive. Texas only had 17 offensive rebounds, 49 rebounds, so 21 assists though. The assist for Texas in this game, 5 for Michigan compared to 21 for Texas, and then 11 steals for Texas compared to only 7 for Michigan. But Michigan also went cold in this game. That's what really hurt them. Michigan went 13 of 57 from the field, 2 of 15 from 3, and then 13 of 14 from the field throwing. Levi Olson 2 of 13 from field, 7 of 7 from field throwing, 3 from Mia Holloway, 4 of 14, 2 from 3. Levi Olson 0 for 4. And then Sale Swords was 2 of 15, 2 of 9 from the 3. Kendall Dudley 1 of 7 from the field. So just their volume, their shooters just went cold. Yeah, Jordan Lee went cold, 2 of 17, 0 of 8 from 3. However, her teammates really picked up. Justice Carlton, 5 of 6. Or 6, that's Bray Cunningham, 5 for 6. Justice Carlton, 6 for 10, 1 of 3 from 2 from 3. And then Madison Booker, 8 of 13, 0 for 3 from 3. So they were not the most efficient team in the field, actually. And in this game, they were not that efficient from the free throw. They 30.6% of the team is not that great. It's not bad, but it's not it's kind of But 3 of 19 from 3 is not really solid, but you'll take it though when you have way more offensive rebound, when you have way more just rebounds in general. When you just have way more when you just have 2 blocks compared to 5 for Texas, 11 steals, career 7. 32 rebounds compared to 49 for Texas. So, every Texas led in every category pretty much. Texas led in, which is just like, not what you want. Not what you want if you're the Michigan Wolverines. So Texas is who's going to play in the first tournament game. It's going to be a Fort Worth one in second row for UConn, South Carolina. The one seeds, they're going to battle at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then they're going to have the Altcast on ESPN2. They had the Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi show, but that got canceled this year. I'm surprised that got canceled. Now they have a different women's basketball Altcast, which I'm surprised by. I'm honestly surprised that one got canceled. I like the Super Diana Taurasi show. I really did this year. I really did. So it's going to be kind of interesting, to see what goes on, And I kind of like that they play into these altcasts because, typically, you're gonna have the main majority of viewers, even the people who have who watch the national championship will get more viewers in the final 4 games sometimes because people are cutting cable and people are cutting the streaming back on streaming services, even that Sling, Fubo, all them, yes they are, but even linear cable TV services, yes they are, but even the percentage of people that watch the ESPN games compared to even the percentage of people that just even the lowest rated even the lowest even if you compare the highest audience, even the peak of the Super Diana Taurasi show from last year to even the lowest point of either game combined. And I'm talking the highest point of the Super Diana Taurasi show from both games combined. What's the highest point of that broadcast? The highest peak and the lowest peak of the regular of that ESPN broadcast for semifinals. And you'll see it is the percentage wise still not great, but it's not intended the altcasts. They're not intended to be the main viewing option for most people, because most people they're going to tune into the main broadcast, what they're used to watching, which is just a play-by-play analyst, a play-by-play voice, and an analyst break down the game, and then the silent reporters and a halftime studio show. The altcast is kind of UConn, South Carolina. You bring in some South Carolina alums, for example, you might bring in UConn, you might bring in Paige Beckers, you might bring in Brianna Stewart. You would bring in other what's the other you can bring in a bunch of other famous UConn alums. There's a ton of them in the WNBA. You could bring in those are the 2 most recognizable UConn alums. Everyone knows, So you could bring in them. You'd bring in maybe South Carolina. You'd bring in Aaliyah Boston. What's some other famous South Carolina alums in the WNBA? I can't think right now. I'm blanking. I know some. If I thought about it, I would know. I just can't think right now. But basically, you'd bring in famous South Carolina alums, or you could bring in celebrity fans who root for South Carolina, watching the games, and you bring them either in person or in Zoom, and they would do that, I actually kind of like that, You brought some memorable moments in this thing, brought some memorable moments, stories, they shared with these, about like maybe with like Super Dantrazi, maybe bring a story about Gino or Yama. It brought in some like memorable stories, like you have Gabby Williams for UConn. So you got some memorable moments for all these like schools, all the some memorable moments. It's like a fun time, and then you have UCLA in Texas, and that should be a rocking good team as well. I mean, but I remember actually that's 9:30 Eastern, and that's in Phoenix, Arizona. So it's gonna be 4 Pacific, 7 and 6:30 Pacific. But it's actually rocking good time. It's gonna be, and I cannot wait to watch. It is gonna be awesome. When I say awesome, I mean awesome. It is gonna be an awesome good time. It should be in the women's. It should be in watching those games. But I'm actually kind of interested to see who is hosting the altcast for ESPN or ESPN2's broadcast on Friday. I mean, it's going to be the same ones for both games. It will be. So I'm curious to see. I know what they're going to do is they're going to have the pregame show on ESPN2, and the same as ESPN. Then they're going to have then you're going to go to your version of the game, whether it's all cast on ESPN2 or the main on ESPN. And then you're going to see ESPN is going to have a outcast of the national championship game. And then since ABC is going to have the main broadcast of the women's basketball championship game. I mean, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to see who's broadcasting the altcast. I do like those altcasts actually. Like they have now starting to bring altcasts in like women's soccer. Like they have one with Coach Jackie J, like J Cubed Hacks on Instagram, and Brittany Wilson, former goalkeeper for Orlando Pride, Indy City FC. So I like that. That's cool. I like that. I actually kind of like the altcasts. I mean, yes, is it like the most standard way to watch a game? Because yes, you're not really focusing. It's kind of not. It's kind of like a more for funsies thing. Kind of, you're not like if you want a breakdown of the game, like a true breakdown of the game. It's kind of not like the broadcast for you, kind of to see like hard hitting analysis. You'll still get some with these broadcasts, but typically it's more like they're watching the game. Typically it's like, yes, you're watching the game on the screen, and they have like the little face cards of them all. Yes, you're on Zoom or in person, like there. The hosts are gonna be there, but then the guests maybe on Zoom or in person. Yes, you're gonna see that, but you're not gonna see like them break down. Like you might see them before like the first like quarter. They have no guests, and say the second quarter they have 2 guests in the second quarter. One for each to each the meet time out of each quarter. The first, you know, you know, So say, they might break down the first quarter, and then the second quarter, they'll have like the guests. They'll start talking with them. They'll still be watching the game, but they'll be talking. In the third quarter, I'll have some guests. Then in the fourth quarter, they might have more of a breakdown in the game. That's what they did for Super Danitrazi, and that's what they do for these outcasts. I like them, But yes, they have the one that made it famous. The outcast was is Peyton Manning, is Peyton Eli with NFL. It's kind of what made like the altcast like popular, and they had like that, and then and they also have like they had the halls with like the Disney animated characters on ESPN or ESPN2 for like women, like the basketball games, like the the NBA games like on Christmas, and they have other like stat casts like and MLB games on ESPN2, and then they have what did they have? They had they call it college football playoff. Those four teams, they had like more like an outcast like the ESPN, the radio feeds on like ESPN3 or like SC Network or ESPN Plus or SC Network. AC Network was SCT or ACT. Or they have like now the radio feeds are mostly on like TV, but unless it's like early rounds, when the Pat McAfee show is out there, for something. But they have like that, or they have like ESPN News. They have like the coaches film room. The coaches would be in a studio, and they'd be watching the game, and they'll be breaking down the game for you from a coach's perspective. They break it down from this, from like you see like the all 22 feed. You guys see all 22 players on the field at the same time. All 22 feed. You just don't see like what you see right there. You see the all 22 feed, which you never get to see on TV, which is for football. Or you have like the Pat McAfee show, which is like the post of the Pat McAfee show, maybe with some guests, mixed in, or just their little, sports show personality take. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it is. I mean, I'm kind of really am interested to see what's going on, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna be critiquing the show, the Altcast. I am gonna be critiquing it. So, give me my rating on the show, on the Altcast. What I think is good for the Altcast. What do I think the Outcast is worth it? Is better than the Super Dan Drezzy show? Or do I think they need to try something else? I mean, I'm interested because I'd be interested to tell because it should be. I mean, I do like that Super Dan Drezzy show, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.